we're going to be talking about love languages. For those of you who don't know, love languages, well, there's 5. There's words of affirmation, there's acts of service, gifts, quality time, and physical touch. And basically, love languages is a test that you can take, and it's really easy to find. You can just Google love languages, and then it's like the first link or whatever. And there's different ones. There's a singles quiz, and there's a couples quiz. There's even a military one. I don't know.
And a teen and a children.
Oh yeah, so if you got kids, like, hey, go for it. But there's a different test for different people, because obviously we all live different types of lives. But basically, when you take the test, it's a series of questions about how you love and how you like to receive love. And I think it's a good idea for everyone to take this. I mean, apart from it being fun and kind of like finding out a little bit more about yourself, it's a good way to move forward with your relationships, whether you're in one or not. Like if you're single or you already have a partner, because it's a good way to like understand how you like to communicate your love and how you want to be communicated with. It's a great way to understand your partner and even understand yourself sometimes. I feel like before I took it, I used to think that I prioritized different ways to be loved. But once I took this test, I was like, you know what? Like, this is what I like or what I prefer. So just to touch on them a little bit. Words of affirmation is basically a verbal expression of your love. And not in a way where, like, you have to tell someone I love you for it to be that, you know, or to hear I love you for you to know that they love you. It's more so like, I'm proud of you, I appreciate you, you look good today, or I noticed you did this, or
you changed up your hair.
Right.
Just noticing the little things and acknowledging it.
Right. On a bad day, on a good day, it goes a long way for you, you know, like that's important. There's acts of service, where I guess it ties into the whole actions speak louder than words. It's a service that requires a little bit of thought, time, or effort. Kind of like, do you need your prescription picked up? I can go get that for you. I know you had a long day. Let me do the laundry for you.
Right.
Cooking a meal, just little things like that. I don't know, even bigger ones. I'm straight on the road. Go pick me up.
Yeah.
There's gifts.
I'm drunk at the club.
Yeah, true. There's receiving gifts, like I said, and this is to not be taken like materialistically. The way it's like described, and I agree with, it's more so like meaningful, thoughtful gifts, you know. For example, I'm not big personally on receiving, like when I took the test, I didn't get a great percentage on receiving gifts, but Vanessa had gotten me a butterfly charm, which for personal reasons it means a lot to me, and it was a meaningful, thoughtful gift. You know, and then with quality time, that one speaks for itself. I feel like just like undivided attention with someone, being present. It could be watching HBO or going to the grocery store together,
or doing nothing together,
right? Or doing nothing, yeah. Just literally being in someone's presence and enjoying that company.
Even I think one of the questions said it, like just being together and not being on each other's phone, like going to dinner and putting your phones away.
Yes.
And one of them was doing or spending time with someone doing something that you may not personally like, but they do.
Exactly.
Or the other way around.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Exactly. Yes. And then the last one is physical touch. And again, this is not to be confused necessarily with PDA, or it has to be sexual. It's even innocent touching. Like we were
hugging.
Right.
Holding hands.
Just a pat on the back, or showing that you're present there for them.
So we did all take the love language quiz or test before we started filming this podcast, and I didn't explain this to the girls before they took it, but they were kind of surprised to see after. When you take this test, you don't get one specific answer. Like when you take it, it's not like your only words of affirmation or your only physical touch. Everybody is all 5 languages. It just ranks you in different percentages. So it'll rank you to what, I guess, in a way you value most, to what you, I wouldn't say value least, but what you probably need the least to feel loved. So I thought it was kind of cool to see all the girls taking it, because I've taken this multiple times throughout the years. And I think even when I took it and when I take it now, I think we all have an interpretation of what we think we're going to get. Like, this is my top love language, but we actually got something else. And it was kind of cool to see how we got to know ourselves a little bit more. So Daisy, what was your top love language, and what did you think it was going to be?
So, you know, you mentioned all of them. I actually thought acts of service would be my top love language, just because I see myself doing that more, or, you know, I appreciate when that's been done for me. But I was surprised to get, well, not so surprised, but I was surprised, you know, because I thought acts of service was going to be the one. Physical touch was actually a little higher than that one, and it was, you know, the most high. Acts of service was tied for second, so, you know, it was there. Tied for second with quality time, but it was, you know, second place. And so physical touch was my first one, and I could see that because it's not just in a sexual way, like you said. It's just showing, in a way, reassurance. And I think all of the love languages, in a way, are a sort of reassurance. Like, hey, I'm here for you. And sometimes, you know, I'm really big on communication, but I think there's some things that words can't express. And sometimes when, you know, there's just not the right words. Maybe I'm crying, and, you know, there's nothing that you could say that's gonna, you know, make my situation better. I just want to know that you're there, and just, you know, like a pat on the back, or just like leaning close to me, like, means so much to me. And you know what, I think it makes sense that was my top one, because my mom was very affectionate to me. So I always, you know, think, you know, even just when someone has, I don't know why, but one of the top things for me is when someone else, and this is like a friendship wise or family wise, when somebody brushes your hair, there's something about that to me, I feel so loved. And it must go back to that when I was a little kid, and, you know, my mom would do my hair. It just means so much to me that someone is just there. It doesn't have to be in a sexual way. I mean, of course, you know, in a sexual way is great too, but my, you know, love of my life so far, even just the way, like, we would look into each other's eyes, it was a form of physical touch. Just like, you're really, like, looking in. And I like those hugs that aren't just, you know, a short little hug. It's like a really deep hug. I remember before, you know, we went into quarantine, Vanessa gave me this, the last day we hung out, and we knew we were about to go into quarantine. I still remember, like, Vanessa gave me this long hug, and Vanessa isn't very big on, like, it's not one of your top ones, I think, right? But the fact that you gave me that hug that was just so deep meant so much to me that to this day, like, you know, like, I feel like I'm always gonna remember that hug. I'm like,
you don't even talk about it.
Yeah, like, it meant so much to me. So I guess I'm, you know, I have always known it was a top thing, but now it makes sense to me that it's a top one. And maybe acts of service is how I show love, and acts of service is how I want to be loved.
Right.
Yeah.
Vanessa, what was your top language, but what did you think you were gonna get?
My top language was actually quality time, and I thought that would be my highest, just because I really do appreciate being with people, my family, my friends, my partner, even if it's like maybe someone's in the other room, and just knowing that someone's here. Like, when I used to live at my mom's, I'd come home late, you know, from a night of being out, but knowing that I was coming home to a house that I knew was filled with love, and, like, the presence, just knowing that they were there, I could sleep, you know, peacefully. And, you know, being with my partner, like, I love doing things together, whether it's, like, you know, an exploring day, adventure, whatever, making memories, vacation. But I also love just sitting in the living room, cuddling in bed, just, you know, enjoying each other's time, having a nice dinner, no phones, you know, just communicating, doing little fun activities, you know, just together. Same with friends too. Like, I always look forward to when we're gonna meet up, whether, you know, it's just one person or a whole group. Like, I really appreciate that, and I feel, like, loved, and I just love being in the moment, you know. So I was actually pretty happy with my answer. And then a close second was words of affirmation, where I can see that ties in just because I like, you know, being acknowledged for, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. That's okay. Diana, do you want to?
Me next?
Yeah.
Okay. So just like Vanessa, we had very similar love languages. My first one was quality time, and my second was words of affirmation. Quality time is really important to me as well. I just, like Vanessa said, her words of affirmation makes her feel like heard and acknowledged. Quality time makes me feel heard and acknowledged. So words of affirmation, I thought that was going to be my top one. That one or physical touch. And as you know, as much as words of affirmation was one of my top ones, it wasn't my top one, which is very surprising.
What do you mean?
It's not the
first.
one that's the most my most percentage. And words of affirmation just make me feel special. I love reassurance. I love when someone tells me like we're good even if there's no problem. I just like to know that we're on the right track, we're on the same page. So my heart's blurry. But yeah, I don't know why that I just thought that was gonna be my top one, to be honest.
Why do you value that though? Like, what?
It just makes me feel loved. Like, does that
I
make
think
sense?
I get it.
I don't mean it like that.
It's literally saying that you are loved.
The appreciation, because
I just like when people can verbalize how they feel towards me. So like, even if I washed your dishes and you tell me, you know what, I really appreciate that you washed my dishes for me when you didn't need to, I'm like, oh,
because sometimes you do go out of your way, you know, to make others happy.
yeah.
And there are people that don't acknowledge that, and there's people that do, and it's like, you're like, wow, you know what, I'm glad that you realize I did that acknowledgement, like you said. So it's really nice, especially coming from people that you care about.
And for even work, like, when I thought I was they usually give me a Christmas card for Christmas. I thought I was getting a thank you note for all the hard work that I've done for this job, and when I didn't, I was so disappointed. And I sent them a video. I was like, damn, I didn't even get like a thank you.
Right.
I didn't even get like a signed card. It was just a Christmas card. So I was like, damn, like, am I not doing a good job? It just gives me like, it just makes me feel better, like I'm on the right track and all that. So that's why I'm surprised that wasn't my top one.
Okay. Emma?
Mine was actually receiving gifts.
Did you think that was what you were
I had no. I thought I was gonna get. Well, I thought I was gonna get acts of service, which is kind of like it's kind of the same. Well, not really, but I thought I was gonna get acts of service because I'm the type of person that like I like to see actions. And I like someone that can like be there for me physically, do something like help me. Hey, I have a flat tire. Don't even call AAA. I'll be right there. Or like type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I like when someone is physically there.
Proactive.
To help me. And when I got receiving gifts, I was like, because I've never really, like in my past relationships, I would get, you know, gifts here and there, flowers here and there, but nothing crazy. And I think that's, like, I'm being honest, as I was doing that, like, I mean, as I was like doing this quiz and I was kind of thinking about what I want. And who doesn't like gifts? Who doesn't want flowers? Who doesn't
love a Louis?
But like, who doesn't? And when I think of gifts, I don't think of anything lavish. I literally think of flowers. I think of, you know what, babe, you didn't pack your lunch today? Let me send you $5 so you could go get
It could
lunch.
be,
It's
you know, they
something
go on
like
a
that.
trip and, you know, they saw something like, oh, this reminded me of you.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I noticed that you had a lot of mugs, you know, so here's another one from Detroit. I don't know.
Don't just try. You guys have to
It could even be maybe not that you get a lot of gifts or often. It could just be that when you do get them, even if it is on Christmas or just your birthday, that it's a meaningful and thoughtful one.
sentimental.
And I feel like
You're
you
on
guys
your
have
period and they bring you ice cream.
Yes, there was actually a guy that I was talking to during quarantine. There was a guy that I was talking to a little bit, and it was my time of month, and he literally showed up to my house, surprised me with all of the
like
Oreos,
the
with
things,
ice cream, with all of the things that will make, you know, that every girl wants when they're on their period.
Right.
It's something, and that like made my day. So it's just like little things like that. You're on the way to see me and you pass by a lady selling flowers on the street and you want, you know, like something like that.
Just being thoughtful.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, it doesn't even have to be gifts. You write me a letter or something like that. So it does make sense that that was my top scoring. I didn't think it was gonna be my top scoring because I've never really experienced too much of it.
Was acts of service, because you said that's what you thought?
No.
Would it be? Was it close?
Acts of service was my third. My second was words of affirmation as well, which makes
I could see that.
to me
Yeah.
it also makes sense because I've been one to struggle with like insecurities and I feel
And
like
trust.
Trust exactly
And self-love, I feel like.
yeah. There you go. That's
She's like, name
that's
one.
what I was. Yeah. Bitch,
Are y'all?
what else?
Name them
Okay, you're sensitive, so
Yeah. What else? No. So yeah. So I feel like with words of affirmation, I'm the type of person where I kind of do need that. What's that word I'm looking
Reassurance.
for? Reassurance.
Everyone has words. What's the word?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think like deep down, all of them, like it's like love languages is like how does someone reassure you of their
They're
love?
all reassuring.
And these are all a form of reassuring you of their love, and that's what they are.
And this even plays good, like this plays well with like our friendship. I feel like I'm the type of person too, where I will literally, I can't make a decision on my own. I have to literally send it to the group. What do you guys think? Okay, you look so pretty in this, Emily, or you know, okay, well there you go. That's all I needed, so I'm gonna buy it.
Right.
And I feel like
I
it
think
does make
that's
sense.
like probably like some of like the funniest like conversations I always remember is like Emma sending a picture like, bitch, does this look good? Like I don't know, I'm gonna go here, and I'm like, damn, yeah, and I start hyping her up, and then she's like, you know what, I really do. Like the other day when you had your yoga pants or the American Eagle one,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, bitch, you look snatched, and she's like, damn girl, she sent me an audio, I really do look snatched on. I'm like, yes. But it's like you really do need to hear that, and it's the reassurance for her.
Yeah.
And that's why I said earlier that this is a good way to communicate and understand. And any relationship, when I say relationship, I don't even mean like your significant other. I think friendships, family, anyone, because it's important to know how you like to be loved so you can communicate that, and it's important to know how they want to be loved. So you're not being selfish in the sense of like, I'm loving you the way I like to be loved, because then you're not tending to their needs.
Right.
But I could actually, now that you say that, when I think of gifts, I can see that being the way I show my love, because I feel like when it comes to Christmas, for example, or birthdays, I get all into it. I'm like what is, like, I go all out. Like, my sister, she told me that I went overboard for Christmas with my grandparents. She was like, I think like you went overboard and you're making them anxious for like everything that you got them. And I'm like, but this is how I show, like this is literally how I show how much I appreciate and love them.
She's just jealous she didn't come up with good gifts like you did.
So it's like,
Did you buy your grandparents a bird? No.
and I got them Tempur-Pedic pillows, and
Aw.
I got my
I want
Vito,
to repeat that.
yeah, I got my Vito Dodger hat. It's just like cute little things, you know. But yeah, I feel like that does make sense when it comes to you know, as to why I got that, because I feel like I'm the type of person where when I'm in a relationship, I love buying them things. Like even if it's like little things, like I'm at the store, oh, he loves this chocolate bar. Let me surprise him with this chocolate bar, the type of thing. So, you know what this
You know
does?
what? I'm
This does.
surprised I didn't get higher for the gifts one because I love opening gifts. Like I'm not like
Yeah.
materialistic, but I'm like so happy.
Picking off of what Emily said, not just Emily, but everybody, I had mentioned to the girls earlier that I think a lot of people develop their personal love language, how they were raised. Kind of like Daisy said, you know, to this day, like her getting her hair brushed shows like love and affection. You know, it ties back to her mom showing her affection when she was a kid. And my top love language was acts of service, and I've taken this test so many times now that I don't even know if I remember what my first time taking it, but I thought I was gonna get this and I didn't. So I can't really answer that, but I do see why it's acts of service. Even like my acts of service and my quality time are like a percentage off, so I can see where they're both pretty hand in hand. But I've always had a very, very strong bond with my grandma out of everyone in my life. Like, even to this day, I think very consistent, strong bond. And because I found the most comfort in her, I think when we were younger, when I'd get home from school and I'd be studying and she'd make me a bowl of fruit, or I'd get home from school again, and she'd have my bed made or my laundry folded, things like that. Even like when I've gotten a flat tire and my brother rushed to go help me, I don't know, like it just means a lot to me. And also I think because when I do acts of service for other people, I know like every time I do it, it's because I'm trying to do it so like they're satisfied, if that makes sense. Like at work, I hate saying no. I hate saying no to my friends. Sometimes I think the things that I do is like, fuck, am I stretching myself then? Am I putting myself out there too much for like, and I don't need to? But to me, it's like, yeah, but and honestly, like, I would love if someone had done this for me, so I'm gonna do it. Even if it's not even appreciated, I like doing it.
Right.
So acts of service was definitely my top, and again, it goes with the whole actions speak louder than words. And
I think it shows a lot. I see, for example, when you bring in, like, you know, a woman goes to shop for the groceries and will the man come out and help bring in the bags. Like, to me, it's like, if you really cared about me, you'd help me to carry all these bags into the house. It means it's so important.
Even with like friends, I don't know why it's always so sweet to me when I walk in the door and I have a lot in my hand and someone's like, oh, do you need help?
Yeah.
That to me, I don't know why I've always been like I do, like, I don't know, like it just means a lot that they want to, I guess, get out of whatever they're comfortable in, whether they're sitting or they're preoccupied doing something else to help me.
Like, I appreciate too when like we're like getting ready to leave, or you guys are getting ready to leave, and then you're like, oh, let me help you pick up. Or like sometimes when you guys randomly start washing the dishes, I'm like, no, leave it, like it's fine, I got it. But I'm like, oh, that's so nice of them, like, you know. I'm like, and even Diana made a comment, she's like, I won't even wash the dishes at my own house, but I wash them here.
I haven't done that for Vanessa since like the first time I stepped into her house. I used to wash the dishes all the time, and then she'd be like, you don't have to. I'm like, no, bitch, let me do it for you, because I don't even do it at my house.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, sorry, I don't even take your bags when you come in. Like,
Girl, I didn't even want bags, but you did ask me last time. We had a Friendsmas, what you call I don't know, my voice did that. Like a 13-year-old. I was like a 13-year-old boy. But we had a Friendsmas, and I think I was walking in, and I think it was you and our other friend Haley who were like, oh, do you need help? Yeah. Again, like, it's not necessary, like, because maybe Emma didn't ask me. I wasn't like, oh, you know, fuck you, Emma.
Remember when I covered you?
That's what like, little, like that, like just little gestures, because again, like I was reading about it, and it says it requires time, effort, and energy, and it's like, you wanted to do that for me, but it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes to me, without anything being said.
I think it kind of relates back to, like, you know, when you get married, the whole part of the vow where it says, like, in sickness is in health. But in sickness, you know, if I'm sick, are you gonna think to give me, like, you know, like soup or water? You know, are you gonna be thoughtful? Is the house gonna be a mess just because I got sick, or are you gonna help me as a husband? And then friends too, like, you know, when we left Miriam's house, me and Vivian were like, oh, this, you know, her kitchen's a mess, and it's because she decided to let us have Friendsmas last year there, so we cleaned her whole kitchen, like deep cleaned that kitchen before we left. You know, so you're not gonna just, you know, we were just trying to be considerate.
Yeah, on bad, it could be a bad day or a good day. It could be a random gesture, or even like, I remember during quarantine, I was staying with Daisy and my tia, and I used to like stress myself out so much during like working from home that like I wouldn't take breaks or eat sometimes. And I remember my like Thea would come in like every other hour with a burrito. And I remember one day I was so overwhelmed I cried about that because it was so sweet to me. Like just the fact that you're thinking of me because I haven't ate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just to me it's like makes me feel warm, like you care about my well-being, that you brought it makes me want to cry right now. That you brought me a burrito.
Yeah.
Like it was sweet. So
and I think that speaks to like not only are love languages important for intimate relationships, but for like friendships and just like relationships in general with other people in your life.
Right.
So I think that's why it's important for us to even know each other's love languages, because I didn't even know that was one of your love languages.
No, I would be asking you for everything. What can I do with you? What can I do?
I knew Vanessa's was quality time, and I for sure knew Vivi's was acts of service. Like I know, but I think we all value quality time. I think that's pretty, high up there for all of us. But I know that Vanessa just loves when we're around, or when she can, like, okay, like I need to make time for my boyfriend. I need to make time for my family, whatever it is, even if it's just going over their house.
Trying to have balance.
Yeah, quarantine, Vanessa surprised me because I moved, to my mom's in, the boonies, middle of nowhere, and she showed up with Carlos one day randomly. Like to her, it's important, and it's, to show. It's a way she shows love, just being there.
So now you guys can give me gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we know we gotta buy you gifts.
No, I was so
I
excited.
ordered you a Twix.
She's gonna get a notification. Oh, Vanessa sent you $1 on Venmo. There's your gift, bitch.
With a 25-cent fee, so 75 cents.
But yeah, I think it's important because I didn't even know that me and Vanessa were very similar in our love languages.
I know, because we are really
we're
different.
Yeah. I was gonna say we're very different, but at least we know that our love languages are very similar. And like now I know that Daisy wants me to like hold her thigh sometimes.
Not even a hug.
Squish her thigh.
Even
Well, like,
Vanessa,
I can so see that with Daisy though. When I came up, I was like, that makes sense to Daisy.
okay, but yeah, like even you right now, just like leaning, like like that. She's like, yes, come here. I have that.
That makes sense. Oh my god, some of my Twix.
And I was so happy when you asked if I wanted your Twix. I was like, yes.
Who wants a kiss? A chocolate kiss.
Maybe it was like,
You know what? Now make it Emily
Touch over
too.
here.
Emily do too.
Yeah.
Bitch, only when I'm drunk.
only when she's pressured.
And I saw a tweet the other day that like I was like, this is why love languages are important and everyone needs to take the damn test. It was a tweet and it said, communication is so important because your girl could be upset and you buy her 5 Gucci bags and all she wanted was a hug. And that's exactly what, because a hug to someone might have been like, that's it? That's all you're gonna do for me when I'm upset is give me a hug?
Mm-hmm.
While somebody else is like, oh, thank you.
I really needed that.
I needed that. Or, so it goes both ways. And it's like, yes, this is why understanding your partners, your friends, your family's love language is important because, again, just because it makes you feel good doesn't mean it's going to make them feel
Somebody
good.
else feel.
Right. For example, my least, I don't think this is right. I think I was answering the questions a little strongly this time, but I got 0% this time on gifts receiving. And even though every time I've taken the test, it's been very low, I've never been this low. I don't need that though, but I see why you need it.
Yeah.
Did your guys'
I didn't know I needed
low
it.
too.
Did your guys' low surprise you?
Mine's honestly, the thing is like my low surprised me because my lowest is receiving gifts, and then second to that is words of affirmation. And to me, I'm like, wait, no, I like those. I want to get gifts. I want you to tell me like I appreciate you if I do something for you.
Right. That's what I thought too.
But then Vivi, asked me, okay, but are they more important than one of the other ones? And I'm like, you know what? No, I guess not. I guess. I like giving gifts, and to me, if you give me a gift, I'm gonna feel loved, even if it is just, you went and got coffee for me. But do I need that to feel reassured of your love? I don't.
Yeah.
And I think there's been times when an ex relationship of mine, they do something for me, and what I really was just needed them to say like, you look good today or something, and they did something else, and we went into this whole little argument about that because in the moment I needed love and I wasn't getting the type I needed, and their response was like, but my way of showing love is this. And I have to counter that and say, well, my way of feeling loved is this. So it's a form of miscommunication, of not knowing how you want to be loved and not knowing how your partner wants to be loved. And that's why I think it's important for couples, even single people, but couples to take the test.
Yeah.
So that they know how to love.
I knew my physical touch would be low, but I didn't think it'd be that low. I got 10%, and then now I'm like the whole time I'm like trying to think, and I'm like, yeah, like I can't even complain because I'm not even really
From when I
physical
know
with
you,
you guys,
yeah.
like, which is crazy because I think at one point,
But that's what's all concerned.
See, now you know I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I feel like that could be something that I could work on though.
Yeah.
And now knowing that it's that low, I'm like, maybe I should. Like, I just feel like I show love in different ways.
Yeah.
Like,
Because you know that now that we took the test and like it's definite, like I've seen it in you, like where physical touch is not.
It's
very
not.
fun. Because like even let's say like when I'm drunk, I love to be cuddly and I want to hug you. Like for my birthday when we came back after Cabo, I just cuddled you and you're just kind of like hugging
Vanessa
me.
sitting over there.
Vanessa cuddled me.
Everyone wants to make out with me, and I'm like,
I wasn't trying to make out with her. I was cuddling her. We were literally on her couch cuddling. I just wanted to be like held, and she's just like, yeah, I'll do it. But she didn't like want to do it.
Even when I held my head on Vanessa, she like, and I do this, she'll like do this.
yeah.
And I'll be like,
Even with PDA, I was never like a PDA, and you guys know, like I told you stories, like the clinginess kind of like,
but it's
like
not,
pushes me away. Like,
see, for me, who that's so important to, it's not even that you have.
but
to
it's
be
like a
so
balance.
there.
Yeah.
It's even just you
letting
sitting
you know,
right
It's literally, yeah.
It's just
But to
being
me,
there.
that's why I understand for me quality time, because literally this is like beautiful to me. Like I love this. I don't need you to be all up on me to show me your love. But again, everyone's different in it. What?
Yeah.
Was that when your lowest though? Was physical touch? your
Yeah, it was
lowest?
my lowest. Like, bitch, I got 10% on physical touch.
So that was my second.
But this ain't sexual, because then I know you lying.
But that was my second lowest, which to me makes sense because I feel like I kind of get awkward when it comes to like touching, or I know Daisy always wants to cuddle him. I'm kind of like, I'll cuddle for you because I'll cuddle with you because I love you, but I'm not a big cuddler. But my lowest was actually quality time, and that kind of makes sense.
But
I mean, like in a way, it's like
Not really.
No, that
Right?
surprises me.
it.
For you, it surprises me.
I think she's more about actions and just like knowing that you're there, because if you're just there, you're not paying attention to her, then it means nothing to her.
Yeah.
She wants you to show her that you're thinking about her constantly and like making her feel like she's
I can
wanted.
see it. That's
she
a
wants
good-
the double texting versus being in person,
Yes,
or what?
my last relationship, we were together every single day, and I still got shit from him. You know what I mean? Like we were it was quality time, and I was with him all the freaking time, and all I did was get fat.
And I know, like, shut up. Oh my god. And I know our love languages will change within the years.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna
no,
say.
I know this was not my love language at one point. No way that was my high.
That's exactly what I was trying to say earlier. I've taken this test every year since probably like I don't even know when. Because I'm always curious. Like physical touch used to probably be 0%. I used to be the least affectionate. Like, do not touch me. I don't want to touch you. I feel awkward giving you hugs.
Donut.
I don't like that. But since my last relationship, I was like, okay, maybe I do like this, and now I find myself craving it and wanting to give it. Still not my top, but it's definitely not 0.
Yeah.
So it changes, and it's supposed to change.
Yeah.
I think it'll even change, for example, when you get into a new relationship, how they are. Let's say I really like physical touch, but my second is acts of service, and they give me no acts of service. I'm gonna start thinking, I'm gonna start focusing on that, like, wow, they never go and help me when I'm tired, or so I'm gonna feel like that's what I need more, and if I go through that test, that's what's gonna come out. It's gonna show that right now, what I want to feel loved is acts of service.
Right.
You know what I was thinking about, and just on this podcast too, is like
Vanessa just moved his pillow and like.
and I'm just like,
the people who have been in like long relationships, not even like we're like where the person that they are with or have been with is all they ever known.
Yeah.
I think when you're in that type of relationship, because that's all you've ever known, sometimes you don't even know
Yourself.
that, and it ties into like not knowing the way you want to be loved because you've only loved them and how they want to be loved. So that's all you think that matters to you.
And then
Diana
when you
stays getting attacked in these podcasts.
But it's probably why you don't feel like the fulfillment.
That's what I was gonna say. Like you need to learn to accept the love that somebody else knows how to give you.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You gotta.
And
That's
be
why I think
open
it's
to
good
it.
to know that person too.
Yeah, like it's good to know that, you know, I need physical touch. Vanessa, that's not the way she lives. So that doesn't mean Vanessa doesn't love me.
Right.
I mean, I hope, but like,
No, right. Exactly.
I know the pat on the head was a lot for you to do. Thank you for doing that for me.
Thank you for touching my.
Oh my god.
That's
But
gonna be my
when I'm drunk, I am a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, because you get horny.
She tried kissing me.
Like I said, this doesn't tie into
Bitch, she only
sexual.
wants, Vanessa only wants to kiss people that don't want to kiss her. So I'm gonna just start
That's
acting.
true.
I'm just start acting like I don't want to kiss you.
It's because if I'm not giving,
ugly.
it's because I'm not giving her my physical time and giving her my attention. So she's like, bitch.
You're trying to get my lips, my attention, not me.
So on that note, I think that we will end this podcast. But I hope you guys took some insight from this and that it motivates you to go to the love language quiz. And if you're in a relationship, it motivates you and your partner to take it. I think it's again a great way to learn a little bit more about yourself.
We can put the link in our bio
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
put it in our link
on the
tree.
YouTube. Oh, on our link tree.
Yeah, or on YouTube as well if you're watching the podcast. I do think it was a really good learning experience for us
All
as a
of us,
friend
yeah.
group. Yeah, and for you guys as well to learn a little bit more about us, and maybe we made you have FOMO and want to take the test yourself
Right.
to learn about it.
And whoever asked on the Chismosas episode, like you know how we have our Google Docs and stuff where you could send the questions. Someone actually asked for this, so you got your
Thank you
answer.
for the
So if you
suggestion.
Yeah, if you have access service and you want to come put tire pressure, let me know.
Or if you have receiving gifts or giving gifts, don't. You know, sorry, I touched your foot.
She hates
Send us-
touching feet.
Send us flowers and let us know that you're thinking of us.
Yeah. If you just want to sit right here and be the sixth FOMO queen, let us know.
So we'll put out a Google Doc application.
Now, if you want to tell us how pretty we are, you words of affirmation people.
Oh,
Send us a DM on our Instagram. Put a comment on our YouTube.
You want to send Emma a Cash App? Hey.
Oh, you
Leave
know
my
what?
Venmo below.
No, we'll leave our anchor below. You can make a donation there.
Please. Maybe we'll get an actual studio.
Maybe we'll change the setup.
Yeah.
But we need a little bit of
Yeah.
receiving gifts. Anyways, thank you so much for coming to this podcast.
I don't think I'm the only one that has this fucking.
Okay.
No, you're not. Everyone, if you're listening to this, take this and let us know what you got so we can normalize receiving gifts.
Right.
And
Not GIFs. Gifts.
comment, like, and subscribe. Give us a review on our Apple Podcast. Hit us up on our Instagram, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next episode.
Bye.